Welcome to getting your indicators and how to set them up. So here's what we're going to do right here. Is first thing you got to do to get your indicators, you're going to slide over, you're going to type in TradingView, right? TradingView.com. Slide over there. Now when you get your first TradingView, if you've never done it before, it's simply going to ask you to log in or pick something. You log in with an email. Now the thing about this email is you're going to use this email to get alerts to your trades and what you have. So a lot of times people use their main email and then create what's called a file, right, where they basically move all emails from TradingView into a folder, right? So this way, they're not taking over your inbox, right? So it's basically sorting them to their own private folder. Now to do that, just simply Google how to do that for whatever email you have. So that way it's directing those emails from TradingView into a folder. So that way it's just simplifying it. So everything that comes from TradingView is in that folder and not in your inbox. So it doesn't just like take over your entire inbox, right? So second thing is, that's easy to do. Now, when you sign up for TradingView, the thing about TradingView is they allow you to use 2 indicators once you sign up. We have a system that you can use 2 indicators using the free version of TradingView until you start making money. And then the other part of TradingView is you can pay $15 a month, and that allows you to get more, up to 5 indicators and more alerts, and that's something you can do. When you first sign up, don't take any deals that they offer you. Say you're taking the free deal, they will immediately go offer you 50% off, and then when you sign up, you can take a better deal. Okay, so now that we have that set up, once you set into TradingView, there's 3 little bars over here. You click it, and you're going to go to a thing called Products, and the Products is simply going to say Products, and then across from the Products, you click it, and Super Charts. Once you click on Super Charts, that's going to take you here. Now, TradingView set up to where they have what's called indicators. This down here is called a volume indicator, and you'll be able to see whatever indicators you have up here. Now if you don't see any names of indicators, there's a little box, you click the down and there it pops up. And you can tell that's the indicator because when I hit the I, it disappears, right? Now other indicators that belong on the bottom will be down in this area here. So make sure that you're looking at both areas. There are no other indicators, just the volume. So all I have to do is remove the volume or any other indicators by hitting that X, and that allows the volumes to disappear so I can add my own indicators on here. Because remember, the free version, you're only using 2 indicators, and the pro version, you got 5. So we use an average of 3 indicators, and 2 of them are used for the free version, and then the extra one is just extra things that you can add to it. But let's get into how to get indicators. Now, top left, there's a little circle once you sign in. You click it, then you go to your top name. This is normally your user name. If you don't know, you click over and you go to profile settings, you hit leave, and then right here, this is what you need to get your indicators. And you need to send me your TradingView username, and once you send me your TradingView username, I will basically have the team set up indicators for you. So this way, the next time that you go into your charts, you will be able to set up your indicators. Now, any indicators that pop up, they're all the same in there. If they're here, you hit the little buttons. If they're not, they're not. Okay, so now to set up your indicators, click Indicators. Once the team sends them over to you, they're not going to be in the normal section. They're going to be invite script only. They're going to call it VC Crypto Nation. And the very first indicator you're going to start with is called the price trend. Okay, now let's go ahead and click that one time. We're going to let the price trend come in. And basically what this is the indicators here with our price action, our volumes, and everything that we need in here to basically operate our trades. Same things you learned in all your other videos. When there's a green trend, positive, red trend, negative, so forth and so on, and then so forth. So these are the basically trend lines, and then on the other side will be and you have your trends up top, all that stuff. So inside of here, this indicator has multiple things that we use. You can see here that it's already drawing out what's called a trend line for you automatically. So when these start to converge, we have what's called a bullish flag, right? You see that? Now, a lot of people talk about that. You'll hear about that. But these lines are already drawn for you. Now, there's also a system inside here that we will be teaching down the road. These are called EQL. That means equal lows. These are break of structure, BOS, EQI, equal highs. Nothing that you really need to know, but at the end of the day, there is a system that people use to trade in those systems to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. So you don't need to really pay too much attention to those, right? Now let's get into settings here because we have a couple different things. Slide over, and just like this little eyeball before, I'm going to go up here, right? If I click that little arrow button, that name disappears so I can see my entire chart. If I need to do settings adjustments, click it and then go over to the settings, which is this little cog. And over here is where we can make some adjustments. So first we go to inputs. This is to show trend in column left. And if you click that, if you don't know what that is, you can kind of see here. Instead of the trends being at the top, I can slide them to my left so that way I can always see them there. So that way if you don't like them at the top or that sometimes they get covered up by something, put them to the left so that you can see how they're working for you. Either way, that's how you move that around. Now, there are bars inside of here, and you'll see these bars here, and these are these blue boxes here and these red boxes here, right? What those are basically what's called smart money concepts, right? And they're just basically showing you targets of support and resistance boxes. So normally this is a zone that showed a lot of consolidation. So more than likely there's going to be a tap down to that. You can see here, and then it starts to work its way up. But these are mostly used to kind of like see where the next move could go. Kind of like having support and resistance lines, right? Me personally, I don't really use them that much, but they're on there. We have all types of stuff. And now we have your moving averages, right? Now, the red line is already picked here. That's this one here. It's the 200 EMA. I like my 200 EMA being yellow, so I changed that color right there. And now I have my 200 EMA. Very simple. And then on my other EMAs, right, I like to use the 20 EMA, and I like to use a blue line for that right there, and that kind of lets me know what my 20 EMA is. And a lot of times as you move forward, you'll be able to use these EMAs for targets and stuff like that. So my 50 is normally orange. And you can see here the 50 EMA, but I'm a big 200 EMA guy. But there you go. Those are for different things in there. Now, as you go through here, you can see where you can show on the 1 minute 200 EMA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if you need to see it, you put it. If you don't, take it off. And then you have moving averages down here. Now, so we slide down. We have candles, styles, modes, right? And this is kind of like the color of the candles. You can make different things. I wouldn't change too much of that. And then we also have what's called our fair value gaps, right? Which is basically you would click on fair value gaps if you want to use those as something that you can see where there's targets at. And a lot of times you take off auto threshold on that. And the fair value gap extension, you want to run it above a 1. You can run a 4 or 5 on there. And then these are the color of the boxes that'll come across for fair value gaps. Now for me, because everything on my page is like green, what I would do here is for the green one, right, I would run my box and I would make it white. And then for my red one, my lower side, I would run that out and make it orange. All right, and there you go. So that's it right there. So these are your zones, and there's other things that you can get in here if you're, as you move forward, we have extra stuff in here for you guys. For instance, we have our background transparencies. These are our colors, but this is going to be our give me 1 second here to make sure it's all lined up. All right, so threshold, right? This is our threshold. Threshold on here should be 4. Okay, and let's see, altitude, discount zone, premium zone. Okay, looks good. And that's another area that, you know, buying zones that you can look at. Let's see. And then we also have here, we should have the extended depth, blah, blah, blah. What I'm looking for here is the Fibonacci's. my colors in there. I have everything I want here. I don't need that. Fibs. Where are my fibs? Okay, so I think we'll have those in a little bit later, but you should have all this set up here. So that's all you really need here to get started. Hit OK. And what you're going to see here, like you see right here, here's a fair value gap that's popping up right here. You can see it pop up. That is the low side, and then the top of it is orange. So there is no orange there, but the fair value gap is normally where something will come back and touch, and you can see right there, it did make its move. Now, what the extension is, and I'll show you what that is. When you come down here, the fair value gap, all right. Right, the threshold is how much it moves out. See how long it makes it? It just makes it noticeable when you see it. So a lot of times, maybe a 7 out there. I use 4 because I got other things going on there, but you can use anything from a 5 to a 7. It doesn't really matter. But that's just the length of the gap right there, just so you understand. Bullish fair value gap is white, and then bearish is going to be orange. Meaning a bullish simply means that it broke out and started to, it happened during a bullish. The orange means that it broke out and came about when it went red, right? Get it? That's why the white's down here and it's going up. It's just a fair value gap on there. All right, so we're going to keep it like there and move on to the next thing. Okay, so there you go. So now here your 50 moving average, or 200 moving average, your 50 and your 20. Those are just lines that you can have in there. We'll cover other things that what they're used for confirmations of things, just to kind of like give you extra confirmations of trades while you're making them. Everything to make it a little bit simple. Other than that, that is how you set up your first indicator. Very short, very simple. Your second indicator, you slide over moons, right? We'll click on that. And you have this moon indicator here, right? Now this moon indicator has everything in it, like literally in one chart. You don't have to move around. There's the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 30. There's multiple moons in here. Tons of moons that you can have in here. And let me see here. And see how I dropped that arrow down so I could see this name. So in the settings here, same thing. We have our RSI, strength is all set, 24.1. Threshold here needs to be 4. This shows the positive line, positive, negative line. The threshold actually shows the same thing. When you put a threshold at 4, those are the lines that it's actually showing there. Style, channels all in there, perfect. Everything's set up there. Negative, positive volume lines, okay. Visibility, right? So weeks, ranges, etc., all in there, okay. So these are not too much to change here as far as like everything else goes there. Inputs, and if you want to clean it up to where it's only the moons that you see, because if you take this little box and you click it off, it shows all the moons in the area at one time, right? And if you click current time frame moons only, now you only get the moons that are in the current time frames. Now over here gives you a little more information. Show the moons in table if using current time frame only moons. So now in the current time frames, right, you can see that this is all set up here. Let that roll through. All right, so let's see here. Get rid of current time frames. That gives you all the hours and all the things. So that way, if you're looking at moons all across the board, you have all of them in one session here, right? See that? So if I'm currently looking at something here, I can see that I have a 3 hour green, a 1 hour, etc. So you have all that. That's a lot of information on the moons there. So as you get better, you'll be really good at using that. But what you want to do currently is slide there and basically put current time frame moons only. Okay, meaning that you're only seeing the moons that are at the current section right now. It's the only ones that you're using at that time. Again, then on this box 2 here, that's the show moons and table view. Go ahead and get rid of that. And now you just got the normal setup on there. So there you go. Those are your moon volumes. Now, Here's your RSI. Now this RSI from us has a bunch of different things on here that we'll be using. I'm going to slide into here, and on the settings, let me see what we have here. All the colors are in there. Okay, cross downs, crossovers. So this has all the RSIs you could possibly need. And then that basically looks like this. So it's a lot more information in here that you have as far as like watching where you're at, right? And it just breaks down. Let me get rid of the, put that little arrow up. So what this is going to do here is just going to break down what 3 minute, it has all the information as far as the RSI. So RSI, the blue is the 5 minute, the 3 minute is yellow, the 30 minute is red. So you can see all those RSIs happening on one chart. And what this really means is if you're looking at one particular time frame here, you have all the information on all the other time frames, which kind of keeps it very simple in there. So you have a 5 minute blue, you have a 15 minute yellow, you have a 30 minute red. So 5, 15, 30, right? 5, 15, 30. Is what it comes down to. So let me see here. All right, so there we go. Now RSI 1, which is here, we don't have any RSIs for 1. What we have is the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and the 30, just so that you have it all in there. Now me personally here on the 5 minute here, I'm going to click none. Just to clear it up a little bit. So this way I'm only looking at very specific RSIs here, which are going to be the 30 and the 15 minute RSI. So now when I'm looking at my RSI, I know that I have this is my 15 minute, this is my 30. All right, so there's a bunch of little things in here. We are going to keep cleaning this up. I recommend right now as you use this particular RSI to basically put this one on hold until you get a little better at what you do, and just click X. So if you're using the free version of TradingView, then you would just be using our 2 indicators here, which would be your moons right here, and then it would be your time frames up here. So these are the 2 you'd be using here. Now the only other thing I do is when I change in here are my lines, right? These are blue and orange. So right here what I like to do is basically slide into my settings on my multiple time frames, go to settings for our moons, and what I like to change here is just the color, and you go to style. Let me see if I can find my colors in here. So on the new ones updated, we don't have difference in colors. So basically, as we look at these trends here, the orange is obviously green, and here the blue is our red zones here. So it's a little bit different on our national time frames here. And we'll see if we can change those colors to red and green here. But that's what we have right there. So using your VC Nation there, you're all set up. There you go. So now at this point, let's see here, 4 hour, 3 hours. So you have a lot of information here. Let me get rid of that right there. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to close that up. So there you go. Those are adding your indicators. That's how it's done. Now, guys, if you are updating to the paying option of TradingView, then you would add that RSI back for a 3rd indicator, except you would just type in RSI up here, because I want you guys to use the stochastic RSI here until you get better. And what that's going to do is basically give you this RSI right here, and you only need one of them. All right, and there you go. And this is the RSI that you guys would use. So you'd have your VC Crypto Nation, your stochastic RSI, and that's pretty much it. Now you hit that little arrow right there, and this is how you set up your indicators that we're sending out to you guys. Very easy. Once they're on there, go ahead and put them through and change this to current, so that way that's set up so you only have the current time frame, meaning that every time you change the time frame here, the moons that you're looking for are basically only set up for that current time frame, right? And that's it, guys. So that's how you set up your indicators and how to get them set up, man. So look forward to get them, and then we can move on to the next videos, guys. Other than that, have a great day. Stay focused, guys. Talk to you soon.